Welcome to another sit down coffee chat. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all having an amazing day so far. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you my 5 top tips to make dieting easier. So if you're wanting to make losing weight, losing body fat, getting lean easier, then keep on watching because you're going to want to know these tips. Before we get into it, I have 2 tasks for you. I want you to go ahead and like this video as it really helps me out, helps this channel, and helps spread this message, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep updated with all the content I'm going to be putting out, as it really just supports me and shows me that you guys are enjoying these videos that I'm getting out for you. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Number 1 is opt for higher volume foods. Now, this is a game changer when you're in a dieting phase, and let me explain what this means a little bit. So what is high volume eating? This is where you consume foods that you can have more of for less of the calories. This is really important in a dieting phase because it can kind of trick your brain into thinking that you're eating more, but you're actually just sticking to those calorie targets that you have in place. Can help you be more full instead of opting for low volume foods where you can just have in a second and then you're hungry 30 seconds after. You are going to be left starving if you aren't smart about your food choices, and this is why I really recommend opting for high volume food. Let me give you an example of some high volume foods. So first of all, which is a no-brainer, are your vegetables. Vegetables you can eat copious amounts of and they have hardly any carbs or any calories at all. Perfect for dieting, bulking up on salads, vegetables, all the good things. They're going to give you so much volume and you're going to be able to eat so much more of them. Another one is berries as well. So fruits are really good, but though some fruits have higher carbs than others, berries are really great if you want to really bulk up the amount you eat, as they are lower calorie, higher volume. Another perfect one is if you're a potato lover like myself, going for things like Spud Light that we have here in Australia, and I'm sure other countries have similar things as well. But for 100 grams of Spud Light potato, you're going to be getting it for 50 calories and only 9 carb for 100 grams. There have been moments where I've had literally half a kilo of Spud Light in a serving, like in one meal, because it's so high volume. Another great swap is pumpkin. So this is like a vegetable as well, obviously. But for pumpkin, for 100 grams of pumpkin, you're looking at 36 calories and 7 grams of carbs. So a perfect one to bulk up on. And pumpkin is a great alternative for potato, sweet potato, and it's a yum food source as well. You've also got things like edamame bean spaghetti, which for 100 grams only equals 115 calories. I have 100 grams in my 2-minute carbonara recipe, which is on my Instagram if you're interested, and that is like a huge serve of pasta. Like 100 grams of edamame bean spaghetti is huge and it really fills me up. So making those certain swaps and opting for more higher volume food options is really going to help keep you fuller for longer, keep you feeling satisfied, which is ideally what we want in a dieting phase. Because yes, even though hunger is a bit of a side effect of dieting, we want to keep as full as possible. This is why I've made it the number 1 tip, because it's probably the easiest and best one I can give for you. Another way of making sure that you're eating high volume is opting for cleaner food options. And now this is the style of eating I prefer, is eating more clean. I do have my treats here and there, but when I eat clean, I know that I'm getting in my lean protein sources, my vegetables, my clean carbs, and it's gonna help me be more full for longer rather than opting for things like pizzas or burgers or bread or any of that. Not saying that any of that is bad at all, because there's always high volume options such as sandwich thins or different brands of bread or pastas and all of that. But that's just the way I like to eat, as it makes me feel good. You can also look at how you are cooking your food as well. So perhaps instead of roasting or air frying your like food or vegetables, you could look at steaming, which is going to give you more volume as well. Another quick easy swap for volume is swapping from oils to spray oils. That's going to save you a bucket load of calories and it's going to help you be in more of a deficit to help make fat loss easier for you. My next tip I feel like is a bit of a no-brainer, but drink more water. Drink your water, girl. This is an obvious one, but it's something that I think a lot of people don't actually do, and it is really important. Not only does water help with fat loss in general, but it also helps keep you fuller for longer. A lot of the time when we think we're hungry, it's actually a sign of dehydration. My tip for this one is make sure you are getting in, I'd say 2 liters minimum, but really try and aim up to that 3 liter mark. It's just gonna make you feel a lot better as well. It can help with energy also, and it's just gonna really help keep you full and satisfied as much as possible in your dieting phase. Another tip I have to help when you're dieting is opting for sugar-free snacks and drinks. Now, everything in moderation. I don't want you to load up on 5 Pepsi Maxes a day, but they really can be super helpful just to tide you through and get you through. So I have a few things here. Sugar-free energy drinks are great. I also have sugar-free Monsters as well. Obviously, in moderation, you don't want to go overboard with this one. Nextbro is really good as well because it is more of a natural soft drink, so it is a lot better for you. And then also things like Pepsi Max, sugar-free Fantas, all of that. They can be really, really helpful in a dieting phase. If this is going to be the difference of you sticking to your diet or not, then I would definitely recommend opting for sugar-free options. Another one, which is a game changer, is having some sugar-free jelly. Making this up, this one is only 7 calories per serve, and there is 8 servings per packet. Make sure that, you know, if you're gonna have a lot of this one or a lot of any of these, track them, but having 1 Pepsi Max a day, like, don't worry about tracking it. There's literally like 5 calories or something in this one. So these can really be useful, opting for sugar-free snacks, drinks. It can really help you just get you through your dieting phase, especially when the hunger comes, because there is gonna be hunger. It's just a side effect of dieting. It's unavoidable. So when you have those moments when you're feeling a little bit lower energy, you can opt for these ones. Having a next bite with dinner is really satisfying, and they can just kind of satisfy, especially the jelly and all of that, satisfy that sweet tooth for you. Opting for sugar-free options is a great tool and tip to help get you through that fat loss phase. My next tip is to be smart with your meal planning and find what works for you. Throughout this dieting process, you're not only going to learn so much about health and fitness, but I believe you'll learn so much about yourself. Are you someone who likes to have 3 big meals? Are you someone who likes to have 6 small meals? Are you someone who likes to snack throughout the day? Or are you someone who likes to eat 2 big, larger meals and perhaps intermittent fast for the rest of the day? All of that is up to you and how you feel better. You could also look at, do you prefer training fasted? Do you prefer training with 3 meals in your system? All of these things can really make a difference into how you feel throughout the day in your dieting phase. Also, getting in a good routine with your meal planning in terms of your meal frequency. Our bodies thrive off routine. I really do believe our bodies, our minds, our lives thrive off routine. And I'm going to use myself as an example. I eat 6 smaller meals a day, as that's what's on my meal plan from my coach. But I've set a sort of routine with when I will be eating those meals, so that now my body is so used to that routine of eating that I only start to get those hunger signals when it comes close to a mealtime. Rather than kind of winging it, being sporadic and keeping my body guessing, I know that I am feeling more fed for longer and I've gotten my body in that routine, just so I can limit the hunger as much as possible and make the whole process a lot easier. When it comes to being smart with your meal planning, I'd really recommend pre-tracking your meals in MyFitnessPal. I preach this to all of my clients. It's just going to allow for you to have that good routine with your eating. Make sure that you're incorporating maybe your cravings, maybe how many meals you want. If you wake up and you really want a big breakfast but a light dinner, you can plan for all of that. That way, when you go throughout your day the next day, the pre-track day, you have it all planned out. You don't have to think about a single thing. You don't have to think about a single macro or any of that. You just have to follow the plan and stick to it, because you know that you've pre-tracked it the day before and you've pre-planned and you've set yourself up for success for throughout your day. So there's so much that goes into it, you know, pre and post workout, meals, whether you want carbs at the start of the day, at the end of the day, you gotta find what works for you. Now, what works for me is 6 smaller meals and having carbs in my first meal, my second meal, my pre and post workout meal. Then towards the later end of the day, I'll start to back off the carbs, as I find that if I have too many carbs later in the day, I start to be a bit more, because carbs carbs are our energy source, right? So it keeps me a bit more awake, whereas I want to just wind down towards the end of the day and just be able to fall asleep really easily. But that might not work for you. Some people work great off of carb backloads, eating more carbs at night. Find what works for you, trial and error, and then stick to what works. If it's making your day easier, making you feel better, then go for that. As long as you're in a caloric deficit, you're gonna lose body fat, but this is just a tip to make it a little bit easier for you. The last tip, and this is probably the easiest one to create a larger deficit and help make fat loss a little bit more efficient for you, is to increase your activity level and really look into that. Now you can use a smartwatch or a activity tracker of any sort, or you can simply just use your iPhone. But the easiest way I would do this is tracking your steps. I use my Apple Watch and I track my steps on there with a goal of 8,000 per day. Now, this is a really easy one because this also correlates to your NEAT. Your NEAT is one of the components of your total daily energy expenditure. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which basically means the calories you burn outside of exercise. So you can easily bump this component of calorie expenditure up by tracking your activity and tracking your steps. You can easily do this by getting outside, going for a daily walk, even if it's just 15 minutes, doing a walk pre and post workout, just really, and putting a target in place. Perhaps mine's at 8,000 because I also am in a sedentary job. So that's one you really need to focus on as well. It's like, what kind of job or lifestyle do you have? Maybe you don't have to worry about your activity levels because you're a trainer and you're on the gym floor, or you're in a trade and you're really active within your job, or maybe you're in retail, you're on your feet the whole day. Maybe it's not going to be as much of an issue, but if you're sitting on your bum all day long, then it definitely can be something to look into. Because if you go from being really sedentary to then increasing your activity levels, even if it's by 5,000 steps, you'll find that you'll be able to create a larger deficit in a much easier way than just taking away food or adding in more exercise or cardio. Just being mindful of those activity levels can really help make the fat loss phase a lot easier, rather than, as I said, taking away food or adding in cardio or any of that. So those are my 5 top tips to make dieting a lot easier for you. Comment down below what you've actually taken away from this video, something that may have been something new that you've learned or something that you're going to start implementing. Let me know down below. And if you have any other video suggestions or any other questions for me, leave them down below as well. But I really hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed filming this one for you, and I'm going to be coming out with a lot more content very soon, plus an exciting series coming up. So stay tuned for that one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!